Good evening. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR-ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Monday, the 13th of November, 2023. All right, my friends, tomorrow's a pretty big day. Here's what we're going to get. We're going to get, if we take a look at the marketplace, the CPI numbers. So they're looking for the CPI for October to come in, and it's the analyst estimate, up 1/10 on the month, and that compares to the prior month's 0.4. On an annualized basis, and the Fed really pays attention to this baby, they're expecting the headline up 3.3% from the year ago and the core up 4.1. The ideal number would be to crack 4. That would get everybody's attention and be a very bullish number. Core CPI in a monthly term is expected up 0.3. That's about in line where it was in September. And everything comes out, as I said, at 7:30 a.m. So that's going to be the big part there. Then the day is going to be taken up with votes in the House of Representatives. What about the budget? I, for one, think we have total dysfunction. I think the House message will go and be sent to the Senate and it will fall on deaf ears. I think they'll say, yeah, we'll look at it, but I think it'll be on deaf ears. I think the Senate then will have to come back to the House with their own version. The House will talk about it. They'll go back and forth. It'll go nowhere. And I'm predicting Friday night. Unfortunately, I think we're going to get a government shutdown. And then we'll be fighting over the weekend. Everybody's going to want to go home for Thanksgiving. Will they be able to go home with the government shutdown? That'll be the first question. If they do, it'll be to talk to their constituents. What do they think they should do? Sure. It'll be to eat turkey. You know that, and I know that. And then the week after is when business can get done. Do I want to be wrong? I want to be very wrong in that analysis. Or do we understand that? I prefer that they get something done this week, but I don't think it's going to happen. The other parts that are going to be happening here is the market's got battlegrounds that are shaping up on now what the big banks are thinking interest rates are going to do. You've got Morgan Stanley and UBS thinking that as we get into the early part of 2024, the Fed begins the rate cuts, and they're not gradual. They sort of gallop to the downside. The opposite of this Goldman Sachs, which thinks you stay where you're at into the first part of the year, and you might get a rate cut or two, but not an awful lot of them at this point. Obviously, everybody's going to get a chance to change their opinion, but that's where you're going right now. And galloping down has to tell me the economy's slowing down. So that's something I'll be looking at. So I thought about it. Tomorrow we get earnings, and they come in the form of Home Depot. Now, that's important. You know, we've seen the big winner has been Walmart. It's blown away Target and everybody else. But now when we get to the home information, what's going on? If they go by me, I haven't done anything this year that's making them money. Years ago, past, I did. As we were in COVID, I was spending all kinds of money getting things done. I was home. I had time. I might as well do something. I wasn't going to the office anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you have come down just recently and filled a gap. That's fairly important. When I look at the swing line, do we have a trend? I don't think we do. You have a higher high and a lower low. The high's up there. I didn't put the arrow pointing down. My mistake. I was doing it and I forgot to do that. You have fallen back into neutral territory of the 18-day average of closes. So I have no trend on the swing line. I'm back to neutral territory right there. I haven't hit the upper Bollinger Band. I did not have a problem hitting it and running it. So there's been a propensity for the market to not have a problem breaking harder than it's rallying. You're in trouble in the market if you break under 286.79 and close under 286.79. That'll give you lower highs, lower lows under the 18-day average, and you open the market up for that type of low down there. In order to be good, you got to keep staying over 287.37 on a closing basis, the 18-day average. In terms of momentum, you got overbought, and you're correcting that right now. In Rivian, I'm sorry, there's one of those mistakes. Sometimes at the end of the day, we get those type of things. They might show up on more of them. If it does, it creates a problem. But you're back into the resistance right here in UGA of the gasoline fund. When we come to XLF, no trend, and you're in major resistance of the 100 to 200-day average, overbought. You have to embed if you're going to be good. You have to prove interest rates can do what? Stay down for these financial services to do better. Your overbought as can be in the industrial sector, coming up to the 100-day average in the upper Bollinger Band. In WMT, this has been the stellar performer. If you're in retailing, this is the granddaddy of it all. It's not a Target, it's not a Macy's, it's just done everything right, but it is in resistance at this point. Sorry for coughing. In RSPD, okay, the consumer, we keep hearing he's bought out, he's worn out, he's debt-ridden. Okay, the market's got an upside bias, but drifting sideways in an overbought market. And XHB in the home builder sort of drifting sideways. Obviously, it's waiting to see what interest rates will do. There's no question there's demand for the home builders. The problem is paying for the homes. And at what interest rate can you get them? You're overbought, upside bias, but certainly not screaming, come buy me. In XLE, higher high, lower low, no real setup there. In gold, I was telling you today that I thought this market was going to get short covering against the 200 and the 100-day average, and it did. In fact, you have an outside day up. Take out today's lows and you get a problem in the market. Don't, you're okay. Silver. You're down to the lower Bollinger Band. You're oversold in a tight range. Are you going to break out to the downside is the question. I'm not seeing it, but that is the question. And notice how you failed miserably at the 200 and the 100-day average of closes. There's that problem. I know it's going to be at this hour, so I'll do as many charts as I can. Higher lows, higher highs, not an awful lot right there. And UUP up to the resistance. That's the dollar index. This is a pain in the neck, I know. It's not me. This is all coming from Yahoo Finance. That's where this part of the chart action comes from. Lower highs, lower lows, fighting a big battle up there. It's overbought. So not bad. We got probably 75, 80% of the charts done, and that's what it's about. Now, for those of you that do charting and you use TradingView, I don't know if you're aware of it, but all my suite of indicators is available there. The way that I do my Bollinger Bands, well, I really should say the way that I do Bollinger Bands combined with my slow stochastic, because my slow stochastic study numbers will not match yours. They're completely different. I modified them, did it with when George Linn was alive that invented the slow stochastic, showed him why I liked it better, and he said he thinks I'm onto something. I wasn't using Bollinger Bands when he was alive the way I use them now, and they're one of my favorite tools. So our outside days, they pair with everything. So if you're looking to use it, this is the way to do it. This ties in with my charting courses, with what I'm doing right here. You can tie your numbers in with me if you're a subscriber on our services, plus our own charting service does that, and it only takes up 2 slots. So if you're interested, you go to Epstein.com under Customer Resources. You can also move your cursor up to the top there. It'll take care of it. Sorry about those couple of charts that went bad. I have no say over that. It's when they blast some data and it picks it up at this weird hour that I'm doing it and something's happened. I'm Ira. You have a good day.